Good morning, my friends. What up? Well, you know what time it is. Definitely time for a cup of coffee. Early Tuesday morning. I'll drink to that. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Look at the beauty of the world around us. It's so nice here today. So I asked you a question this morning. Would you consider homeschooling? Now, many of you may be older and don't have children at home, but you probably have grandchildren. So the question still stands. I've been thinking about this a lot recently because there's been a lot of talk about schools reopening. Is it safe to reopen the schools? And I've seen lots of different posts. My personal I want to share an opinion and a story with you. A number of years ago, one of my grandchildren went to live with his paternal grandmother, his father's mother, in Florida, and she decided to homeschool him. And I was initially against the idea. I thought that homeschooling would be it would not give the child opportunity to socialize, to mix and mingle with other kids and be part of a community, and etc. I turned out to be wrong about that. It turns out that homeschooling worked out very well in his case. He did very well, and he was very socialized, and uh, it just worked well. In these days and times, with all the controversy about COVID and all the controversy about vaccines, uh, mandatory vaccinations. Good morning, Yan. I personally am of the opinion that homeschooling is the right thing to do. If you have children, keep them home. Don't put them in public schools. Don't. And even in private schools, uh, my personal opinion is if I had children again today, I would push strongly toward homeschooling so that they didn't have to have vaccinations and we didn't have to worry about COVID or anything else. No school shootings at home, I hope. But there's a problem with homeschooling children. You have to have a parent who stays home to do the schooling, or a grandparent. Somebody has to be there. And that brings me once again to the idea of having a side hustle, a home-based business, working from home, developing an alternative stream of income so that you can afford to do things like homeschooling your children. So, once again, I'm suggesting the idea that in these days and times, you are, my humble opinion, foolish to not have a side hustle, foolish to not be developing an alternative income stream. Hello, Linda. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm talking about homeschooling, Linda. You know, in the controversy that's arising right now these days concerning is it safe to open the schools? And there's, some people think that it is and are pushing for it. The schools will be open by the fall. Some people think that it isn't. And is there a risk? Yeah. The other thing that sits in this equation is vaccinations. Um, I'm of the personal opinion that if I had to start over again with children, that first off, I am personally anti-vax. That's just my personal opinion. I'm anti-vax. Um, Not with the schedule that is currently being pushed on children for, I don't know, 50 vaccinations in the first 6 months or something. I don't know what it is, but my opinion, ridiculous. And I don't have the numbers in front of me, so don't quote me. But my opinion is it's ridiculous. I just simply wouldn't do it. I would not put my children at, and I believe it's putting children at risk. And while a vast majority of children don't develop any side effects from the vaccinations, some do. And there's no way to know ahead of time if your child goes and gets one of these vaccinations and ends up autistic or something else. Um, I wouldn't do it. I would push for homeschooling. If we homeschool, we don't have to worry about vaccinations. We don't have to worry about COVID. We don't have to worry about school shootings. We just keep our kids at home and we school them there. And you know, if you remember, Linda, my my grandson, Sean, he was homeschooled, and so in the beginning I was concerned that that might be a problem. It might be not be socialized appropriately, but it turned out to be just fine. So, my point is, homeschooling I think is the right thing to do. That's personal opinion, and not everyone's going to agree with me. That's all right. You don't have to agree with me. And the other thing that I would say is that, and as I was saying, is that in order to homeschool a child, there has to be someone at home. In Sean's case, it was his grandmother, whom she was home, and she homeschooled. Hello, Larry. Good morning, Larry. What up, Larry? But in many cases, with younger families, that raises the issue of whether or not they can afford to be home because both parents are working. That brings me right around full circle to the idea of having a backup plan, an alternative stream of income, a side hustle, a home business, starting a business that you can do from home. So that's what today was all about. And I would love to hear people's opinions in the comments. Would you homeschool? Do you believe in homeschooling? Why or why not? I'd love to get some conversation going. What do you think? Is it going to be safe to send children? And I know you may not have children. People like Lindy, well, you have grandchildren. I don't know. Maybe you have great grandchildren by now. There's so many kids running around down there in Florida. I lost track. And of course, I have great grandchildren now. Nick has a son. Would I recommend to Nick that he put his son in school? No. I would recommend that he not do that. I wouldn't take the risk. Personal opinion. Love to hear you folks. Love to see your comments. Tell me what you think. Please, please, please. And meanwhile, don't forget to be happy. The happier you are, for now, our grandkids staying home. We can all help. Yeah, there you go. Good for you. So, anyway, don't forget to be happy. The happier you are, the more happy the universe can bring you. That's the law of attraction. And be compassion. The world needs a lot more of that. And we'll talk again tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Bye for now.